Good morning, and welcome to New Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Kira Schwegel.
And I'm Grayson Borst. This is the week of November 3rd through November 10th. Thank you for joining us today and starting your day off with our exciting and educational morning show.
We hope you are enjoying our show this school year, along with our sister show, Your School News.
Before we get started today, we wanted to take a few moments to tell you about several of our other quality programs we have airing on our channel.
Anyone with a student in the New Hanover County school system will want to watch Up Front with the Superintendent. Our host, Ann Davis, sits down one-on-one with Superintendent Dr. Markley. Together, they discuss important topics facing our school system and highlight changes and programs and the public needs to know about.
We also have the Forum, hosted by Sheila Evans. The Forum highlights interesting and important achievements, programs, and events within our school system and community. Every episode features 3 separate interviews which strengthen the bond between the school system and the community.
And another show you shouldn't miss on our channel is Diversity Matters. This show is hosted by Valita Quattlebaum and takes a look at diversity in the school system and community. The show explores unique programs, community partnerships, and talks with many different students in our school system.
If you are a fan of sports, then be sure to tune into our coverage of high school football on the Sports Roundtable. Playoffs are underway, and you can see game highlights and hear from the coaches in this long-running popular show.
And don't miss our other programming, which features Board of Education meetings, music concerts, science features, and others so much more.
So, if you are a fan of the morning show and Your School News, be sure to tune into our other programs as you will enjoy them as well.
It is always a good time here at NHCS TV.
It's time to check in with the third member of our team, Leah Schwegel. She is standing by right now with our first look at the morning news headlines. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, Kira and Grayson, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on the Morning Show. Topping the headlines this week, the NHCS Transition Advisory Team holds their 2019 Transition Fair Parents Night and Students Transition Fair. The Transportation Department is rolling out new buses with seatbelts for added safety. And the United Way is getting set for their big campaign kickoff. I'll have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Leah.
It's time for a staple here on the morning show, This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History.
Welcome to This Week in History, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of November the 4th through November the 10th. November 4th, 2008, Senator Barack Obama of Illinois defeats Senator John McCain of Arizona to become the 44th U.S. president and the first African-American elected to the White House. On November 6, 2012, he was re-elected to a second term. November 5th, 1994, 45-year-old George Foreman knocks out 26-year-old Michael Moore and becomes the oldest heavyweight champion in the history of boxing. He retired in 1997 with a lifetime record of 76-5. November the 6th, 1861, Jefferson Davis is elected President of the Confederate States of America. He ran without opposition, and the election confirmed the decision that had been made by the Confederate Congress earlier in the year. November the 7th, 1965, a drag racer from Ohio named Art Arfons sets the land speed record at a speed of 576.5 miles per hour at Utah's Bonneville Salt Flats. Arfons drove a jet-powered machine known as the Green Monster, which he built himself out of surplus parts. November the 8th, 1895, German scientist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen becomes the first person to observe X-rays. He was testing whether or not cathode rays could pass through glass when he noticed a glow coming from a nearby chemical-covered screen. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. November the 9th, 1965. At dusk on this day, the biggest power failure in U.S. history occurs as all of New York State, portions of seven neighboring states, and parts of eastern Canada are plunged into darkness. The Great Northeast Blackout began at the height of rush hour and wasn't completely restored to the next morning. November the 10th, 1969, Sesame Street, one of the most famous shows of all time, makes its broadcast debut. Sesame Street has aired in more than 120 countries worldwide. Today, an estimated 8 million people tune in to watch each week. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. Thanks for stopping by.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up this week in history.
We have plenty more of the morning show ahead, including a visit to one of America's national wildlife refuges.
But first, as we head to break, we have the word of the week. Each week we highlight an advanced English word so when you use them in a sentence, you can impress even educated speakers. Here's our word of the week.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Kira Schwigel.
And I'm Grayson Borst.
We now have snapshots, where we take quick looks at some of the positive things going on around our school system.
From fun projects to school-wide events to guest speakers and fabulous field trips, there are so many great things for our schools to celebrate.
Students at Wilmington Early College High School toured different programs offered at CFCC's North Campus. The trip included a look at programs such as vet tech, paralegal, film, and cybersecurity.
Trask Middle School students took a hands-on approach to learning by dissecting cow eyes with NHCS STEM specialist David Glenn. A cow's eye is very similar to a human eye, and students learned how our own eyes form images and send them to our brain.
United Way held its Night of Heroes event honoring 10 community champions, including Anderson Elementary student and Child Nutrition Director Eimer Smith. This Child Nutrition Department went to the event to support their heroic director.
Students at the Career Readiness Academy at Mosley created anti-bullying posters encouraging classmates to be confident in themselves and kind to one another. It was in observance of National Bullying Prevention Month, which was celebrated at the school.
The HOSA Club at Ashley High School practiced their skill in health profession when they had a blood drive in partnership with the American Red Cross. It was a great learning experience and a way to give back to the community.
Students at Anderson Elementary School got a little batty when they celebrated Publishing Day. Each student became an author and illustrator of their own story about a bat on a full moon night.
Miles Murphy, planner for Carolina Beach Department of Planning Development, spoke with students at Murray Middle. He talked to them about city zoning, flooding plans, and plans for the city's future.
Myrtle Grove Middle School students dressed up as tourists for their school's Spirit Week. As you can see, Hawaii was the chosen destination of many participating students.
And that's this month's Snapshots, our quick looks at some of the positive things going around our school system.
I really liked the student authors. I bet those are some fun stories to read.
Yes, and seeing the Ashley students learning and holding a blood drive for the community was really nice.
So many positive things. It's time for even more as we have our morning news. Let's send it over to Leah Schwagel, who will share all the details. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Leah Schwagel. Our top story this week, NHCS held Transition Fair in downtown Wilmington for students with disabilities. YSN reporter was able to make the fair and filed this report.
Hey, thanks so much. That's right, I'm at the 9th Annual Transition Fair. Here's a little bit about what folks had to say about what's going on.
The New Hanover County Transition Fair brings community members together with area students and parents helping them find the right career path for a successful future.
The big thing is a lot of our students with disabilities, they kind of know what they want to do when they graduate. They know how they want to live, where they want to live, but they don't know where to get the support to do the things that they want to do. So this is an event where we have tons of community support that comes out here, and they work with them while they're in high school. Some work post-high school, so they are getting to meet people who actually can help them even beyond high school.
A variety of vendors set up their table to show what they have to offer.
So we have lots of agencies, different Trillium's here, UCP is here. We have a lot of transition programs for students with autism and then students with intellectual disabilities. We have employers here that come out, and they're people who we've actually trained, or vocational rehabilitationists trained, to work with people with disabilities. We have post-secondary sites, so East Carolina comes and brings their STEP program for students with learning disabilities. So there's about 50 agencies that registered for the event this year.
So we're here really to show the support for the individuals and have them come to us and kind of just be open to any questions. And what's really important is making sure that we kind of cover all the bases between different disabilities. Obviously, we serve individuals with disabilities, but we don't want to discriminate. So just because someone has a mild disability where somebody else has a severe disability, we want to make sure that we're here for them regardless of their disability, and we can push them in the right direction as to what program they would be a good fit for.
This is the highlight of my year. I love this part of the year because we just get to see all the people that want to help and support. So when you walk in this room, it's full of people that their main goal is to help students with disabilities and to make them comfortable and feel like they're doing, feel like they have a direction to move in. So that, I love to, there's so much hope in this room. It's really a good thing to see and be a part of.
Reporting from Cape Fear Community College, I'm Johanna Carey.
Each year, the Professional Educators of North Carolina calls for entries of the annual Young Artist Competition. This is a statewide contest. In 2019, Wrightsboro Elementary School had 2 competition winners. In the K through 2nd grade category, Quinn Lawrence had her watercolor chosen as the winning piece. Quinn was in 1st grade when she created her artwork. New Hanover County Superintendent Dr. Markley also chose this watercolor to represent the K through 2nd grade category in the annual Superintendent's Board of Education Choice Art Awards. Quinn is currently residing in Oregon with her family. Fatima G. Vasquez was chosen as the Young Artist in category 3 through 5 with her winning oil pastel of pumpkins. The art features shadows and highlights with established light source. Fatima was in 5th grade at Wrightsboro when she created this beautiful artwork. Fatima is currently enjoying her 6th grade at Holly Shelter Middle School. Both art award winners received a check for $50, and they were honored at a very special award ceremony / luncheon with their art teacher and families in Raleigh in September. New Hanover County schools are rolling out brand new yellow buses equipped with seat belts. Officials say the belts will improve safety when bringing kids to and from school. Each year nationwide, hundreds of thousands of school buses transport more than 25 million children to and from school, according to the American School Bus Council. That number represents about 50% of the K-12 population. School buses travel approximately 5.7 billion miles annually and are designed to be safer than passenger vehicles in avoiding crashes and preventing injury. In fact, school buses are the safest mode of transportation for children to get to and from school. If a crash occurs, the use of seatbelts will reduce the probability of death and the severity of injuries to children correctly seated in school buses. School districts have even reported improved student behavior on school buses with seatbelts, experiencing 90% to 95% fewer write-ups for misbehaving students. Officials we spoke with say eventually all buses will have seatbelts on board.
What we're doing now is every year as we order new buses, they're all coming in with seatbelts. So as we replace buses, the state has a formula that they use, and every so many thousand miles they replace it. And all the new buses as they're getting replaced now are being replaced with seatbelt buses. I think it's probably something that's going to take us about 10 years, maybe a little bit longer, because it's done by mileage. So the more miles we put on them, the quicker we get them replaced.
New Hanover County Schools will conduct the annual United Way campaign through the month of November. As you know, United Way makes a big impact on the education, health, and financial stability of members in our local community. They have been instrumental in supporting their partners in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. If you are able, please consider making a donation this year to help lift up our community. If you are unable to contribute, please consider one of the many local volunteer opportunities. The campaign kickoff is set for October 29th at 4 p.m. in the Media Center of College Park Elementary School. That's at 5001 Oriole Drive. United Way Worldwide, based in Alexandria, Virginia, is a nonprofit organization that works with almost 1,200 local United Way officers throughout the country in a coalition of charitable organizations to pool efforts in fundraising and support. United Way's focus is to identify and resolve pressing community issues and to make measurable changes in communities through partnership with schools, government agencies, businesses, organized labor, financial institutions, community development corporations, voluntary and neighborhood associations, the faith community, and others. The main areas include education, income, and health. For all the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5 p.m. here on Spectrum Cable Channel 5 and Channel 191 in Carolina Beach for your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Leah.
All right, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This menu is for Monday, November 4th through Monday, November 10th. On Monday, November 4th, shake off those Monday morning blues at lunch with crispy chicken wings served with a garlic knot, lasagna roll-up served with a yummy garlic knot, or a meatball hoagie. Also take pleasure in drool-inducing broccoli and cheese, creamy pasta salad, tomato and cucumber salad, and diced peaches.
Then, on Tuesday, November 5th, spice your day up with amazing nachos grande with cheese, crunchy corn dog nuggets, or a pork chop sandwich. Complete your awesome meal with pinto beans, sweet potato fries, and delicious diced peaches.
On Wednesday, November 6th, let the unique flavor of orange chicken served with brown rice satisfy your hungry stomach, or if you prefer, pick a cheesy breadstick or a perfect Philly cheesesteak. Along with those selections, add succotash and amazing applesauce.
On Thursday, November 7th, your tummy will yell yummy when you taste beefaroni served with a breadstick, Chick-fil-A sandwich, or a scrumptious cheese and pepperoni pizza. Stay healthy by piling on black-eyed peas, glazed carrots, or appetizing mandarin oranges.
Then, on Friday, November 8th, celebrate the coming weekend with a beautiful bacon cheeseburger, chicken nuggets, or crispy chicken egg rolls. Don't leave the lunch line until you've heaped on French fries, healthy mixed vegetables, and mixed fruit.
Finally, on Monday, November 11th, enjoy the day off and thank a soldier for his or her service. It is Veterans Day.
And there you have the lunch menu for this week. In addition to those items, milk, a garden salad, fresh fruit, French bread pizza, and a peanut butter and jelly combo will be available daily.
So many delicious choices. Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
Now, when we come back, we will take a tour of one of America's wildlife refuges.
It's coming up right after this short break.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of different types of heart disease, like AFib, which is a type of irregular heartbeat. It affects both women and men, but women with AFib have a higher risk of stroke and death than men. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. Diet and exercise are key to staying healthy. Know the risks. Women Heart does something really unique, solely focusing on women and providing peer-to-peer support. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Kira Schwegel.
And I'm Grayson Borse.
We are thrilled to continue today's show with an episode of NHCS Spotlight. This segment introduces us to the people who work behind the scenes for New Hanover County Schools. We will meet them, get to know a little about their job, and how they support our school system.
This morning, we'll sit down with the director of the Child Nutrition Department and learn about her role in the school system.
Well, it all started way back when I went to college. I was doing a minor in food service management and had a degree in dietetics, and I worked with the summer food service program and enjoyed the whole part of being a dietitian that could work in the school system. So that is why I got involved in it. Also, I have a mom that was a cook, and she told me about food service and always told me that food is a language of a way to communicate to people. She had very broken English. She was Hispanic, so that was one way that she was able to talk to people and show that she cared about them, and food was one of them. So that's probably why I got involved in it. The duties of a child nutrition director is that we just make sure that everything is running properly. Some of those programs that we operate are the National School Lunch Program, the National School Breakfast Program, there's a free and reduced eligibility program, there's a after-school snack program, there's a USDA commodity program that we operate. And so there's lots of different things. There's also a summer food service program that is held after school gets out at the end of the year. One of the major duties of a child nutrition director is that I have to make sure that all the aspects of food service is carried out, making sure that the budget is taken care of, making sure that deliveries are going to be on time each week, make sure that we have enough employees at each site. Also making sure that, we're following all the full federal and state regulations. So those are probably the main points that child nutrition director holds. Also, community outreach is a very important part of my job. So I have to make sure that parents, the community, administrators understand exactly what we do and why we serve the foods that we're serving. Some of the challenges of being a child nutrition director is just making sure that, we reach every child. I want to make sure that every child has the opportunity and knows what's on the menu every day, making sure that we kind of meet their needs, finding food items that they find appealing and that they might enjoy eating. Also, there are other challenges as far as making sure that, we have electricity, we have gas maybe for some schools, we have water available, that we have enough employees to help serve the food every day. So those are some of the challenges that we have every day. The way that my job supports teachers is I know that we're a very big part of making sure that if a child is hungry, I know that they cannot learn. So I think that that's one way that child nutrition plays an important part with teachers, is we can help keep the child focused, we can make sure that their tummies are full, that they're getting a nutritious meal, and we know that they're getting all the vitamins and minerals that they need to help them be a successful student. Oh, the favorite part of my job is just being around people, just being able to interact with students, employees, administrators, parents, vendors that come through our back doors and deliver food items and supplies. I think that's just my favorite part of my job is just interacting with other people. Also, just knowing that when we decide on a food item or we decide on a new program that we're going to operate, that it's helping children out. So I think that's one of the best things about my job, is that I know that there are several programs that we do for children that really mean a lot to the families.
Thank you, Ms. Smith, for all you do for New Hanover County Schools, the students, and the employees.
And all year long, here on the morning show, we will feature staff and student highlights and special features, so be sure to tune in each week.
Now we shift gears and bring you our enjoyable segment, America's Wildest Places. Each month, we take a visual and audio tour of one of America's national wildlife refuges, brought to you by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. You'll learn about the plants and animals at each one, as well as what the different seasons of the year brings. Enjoy the sights and sounds of America's wildest places.
Kenai National Wildlife Refuge in south central Alaska encompasses nearly 2 million acres of the magnificent Kenai Peninsula. The peninsula descends gracefully from glaciers in the 6,000-foot Kenai Mountains. These mountains are the source of numerous rivers, including the world-famous Kenai River, which flows through forested lowlands to Cook Inlet. Hundreds of lakes reflect lowland spruce and birch forests. Within this beautiful natural setting resides an abundance of wildlife, from splendid salmon to majestic moose. The refuge's main objective is conserving fish and wildlife populations and habitats in their natural diversity. Other purposes include preserving more than 1 million acres of wilderness, protecting water quality, and providing education and recreation opportunities to the public. The Kenai Refuge is often called Alaska in miniature because its ecosystems and diverse wildlife reflect those of the entire state. The refuge conserves vital habitat for a diversity of wildlife. Mountain snowfields and glaciers are sources of fresh water that wildlife and people need to survive. Alpine tundra is home to Dall sheep and golden eagles. Spruce forests mixed with birch, aspen, and cottonwood provide homes for moose, black bear, and spruce grouse. Wetlands are essential for the survival of migratory waterfowl, brown bears, and salmon. Geographic and climatic conditions have an island effect on the Kenai Peninsula. The subarctic climate allows only a short growing season for plants to mature and new plants to take hold. Disturbance can set delicate plant species back several years. Preserving wilderness is another of the refuge's purposes. Animals like brown bears, wolves, lynx, and trumpeter swans require large habitat areas and are sensitive to human activities. To ensure the survival of these animals, Congress designated more than 1 million acres of the Kenai Refuge as wilderness. Seeing a moose or a bald eagle perched on a treetop are special benefits of a winter outing on the refuge. Wildlife does not recognize agency or political boundaries. It moves freely throughout the Kenai Peninsula. Our major challenge is to protect our wildlife and to fulfill the purposes for which the refuge was established. We work to understand the needs of wildlife and to manage for their success. Through our management programs, wildlife populations are conserved and their habitats improved. Refuge staff, volunteers, community members, and visitors work together for the benefit of the refuge. Our combined efforts will create a legacy for Kenai National Wildlife Refuge as a place where salmon runs are healthy, brown bears thrive, and wolves continue to roam the wilderness.
We have so many unique places all across the United States. Keep America's wildlife refuges in mind if you're planning a trip across country.
We head to break with our new modern music bumper. These quick looks and listens of the musicians of our time were created this summer by NHCS TV intern Dylan Roberts.
We'll be right back.
I'm a bus driver.
I'm a bus driver.
I'm a bus driver. Wouldn't you like to be a bus driver too?
New Hanover County Schools is now hiring individuals to be a part of our elite core of school bus drivers.
That's right. You can work full-time, part-time, or serve as a substitute bus driver.
New Hanover County Schools offers competitive wages, flexible hours, and state benefits.
Best of all, you get to work with the greatest kids in the world.
We need you!
Contact us today to join the next free commercial driver's license class.
New Hanover County Schools is an equal opportunity employer.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Grayson Borst.
And I'm Kira Schwagel.
We have some great segments ahead, but first we have our Did You Know?
Did you know that the most powerful geyser in the world is located in Yellowstone National Park?
Called Steamboat, this geyser is the world's tallest active geyser. It can shoot water up to 300 feet high.
Unlike Old Faithful, whose eruptions can be timed and predicted, Steamboat erupts erratically and cannot be predicted.
Geysers are hot springs that constrict near the surface so that water cannot flow freely out. Factoring in pressure and depth, the water builds up under the surface and eventually erupts into the air.
There are more geysers in Yellowstone than there are any other place.
Other famous Yellowstone geysers include Riverside, which shoots across Firehole River, Castle, which shoots up from a cone, and Grand, which explodes in a series of bursts.
And the great thing about Yellowstone geysers is that you can visit them.
Now, it's time to shift gears from geysers to history. Archaeologists study past human life and culture through the recovery and examination of remaining material evidence. Using artifacts, inscriptions, monuments, and other remains, they paint a picture of the past.
In many cases, that picture tells a story. We have one of those amazing stories from our friend at the Archaeology Channel this week when they take us all the way to Ireland and the island of Inishark.
Off the west coast of Ireland are some rocky islands that have been inhabited for thousands of years. The island of Inishark is one of those, but the last people actually abandoned it back in 1960. Today it's a lonely place with the empty remains of old houses and other structures. Archaeologists study that sort of thing, of course, but in this case they can actually talk to some of the people who once used them.
Watching the stormy seas pound the shores of Inishark, it seems impossible that people once eked out a living on this tiny, battered island. And yet they did, and not so long ago. Stone houses stand vigil for the vibrant community of fishermen and farmers who once lived here, enduring weeks at a time of storm-bound isolation at the hands of the mighty Atlantic. The decay of the ruins mimics the community's collapse during the 20th century, when young people from Inishark, like their counterparts all over Ireland, left their homes behind, seeking opportunities abroad. The island community needed young people to man the wooden boats used for fishing and travel to the mainland. As the population dwindled, the hardships and isolation of island life eventually overwhelmed those remaining. In 1960, the last 24 islanders evacuated the centuries-old village on Inishark and moved to government-sponsored holdings on the mainland. Our team of archaeologists arrived on Inishark just shy of 50 years after the abandonment. As part of the ongoing Cultural Landscapes of the Irish Coast project, we came prepared to investigate and conserve the heritage of the Western Irish coast. With the help of modern technology, we could learn a lot from the material remains still evident on the landscape. By exploring historical documents, we could discover still more about life on the island. Because the abandonment of Inishark was so recent, we had an opportunity rarely available to archaeologists. In June 2009, we brought 3 surviving islanders, Teresa Lacey, Martin Murray, and Peter Corrigan, back to Inishark to lend a voice to the past.
This was the house I was born in and grew up in. So the potatoes there, you can see the tracks of the ridges in the field, all the ways down, hay down the bottom of it.
The islanders' testimony complemented other lines of evidence in our interdisciplinary approach.
This house here was built for the school teacher. And the house far over then in the far was where the king used to live. And the house over beyond that again, a family by the name of Kings lived in it. They were uncles of Sonny Lacey's. You know, that's the one near to the pier, you know. And then you go further up, you have the church and my grandmother's house. But this is where all the decisions are made now. Well, you see, it was a quiet house. There's no kids in it, so there's nothing to interfere their conversation, you know. So they were let at it, and they played cards then if they weren't, you know. But it was a winter house, you know. Maybe sometimes on a Sunday, if it was too bad to go to Nishbuffin to Mass, they would sit outside at the gable of the house there and discuss things as well.
The islanders' memories demonstrated the immediate connection between the physical landscape and traditional life.
Right out of the door here and right up to the ceiling, that was packed with potatoes because it had to be, you know, to feed the family. I mean, the potatoes would have to do from October right till May or June, you know. So you had to sow a lot of potatoes. And that was the haggard there where they kept their vegetables. Right here, they put the turnips, carrots, parsnips, everything was put in here.
The islanders could explain, identify, and interpret the landscape, sometimes revealing layers of meaning in unexpected places. Being able to include living witnesses alongside traditional archaeological data was an exceedingly rare and valuable opportunity. Their memories replaced guesswork and inference in our understanding of daily life and features on the landscape. But Teresa, Peter, and Martin ultimately gave us more than just information. Their testimony revealed some of the hopes, joys, and fears that characterized life on the island. As traditions fade out of practice and buildings crumble, their memories lend a voice to the silent stones of Inishark.
It's amazing to think that an island is abandoned in such recent times.
The Archaeology Channel always brings us an interesting segment. There's so much you can learn about our history.
There is, and we will have more features here on the morning show.
I look forward to them.
We continue our show with gardening and nature. Even though fall is here and it's getting a little cooler outside, it's still a good time to enjoy nature. Our friends from Cape Fear Garden Club continue to provide us with wonderful information and tips for you to put to use at home. In today's edition of our host will not only tell us a story on how we can supply food for animals during the winter months, but also what you can do to ensure that your garden survives the cold temperatures.
Good morning and welcome to Gardening and Nature, brought to you by Cape Fear Garden Club. I am Barbara Downing and I am here with Megan and Emma from Myrtle Grove Middle School. Today we will be discussing a winter garden. Emma, what do you think would be in a winter garden?
There might be some berries or seeds for the birds to eat.
Megan, do you see squirrels in your yard during the winter?
Yes, I see squirrels chewing on pine cones.
Emma, what do you think the squirrels find in the pine cones?
Seeds?
I think so. They must be really looking for something when they do that. Megan, do you ever see bushes with berries in your yard?
Yes, I see red ones, but I don't know any of the names for the bushes.
Okay, this is a nandina, and this is some holly. There's always several different kinds of holly. Emma, have you ever heard someone say that they allow their flowers to go to seed?
No, what does that mean?
Well, let's look at these dried flowers here. They used to be sunflowers. And you'll notice that left on the stalk are some seeds that squirrels or birds can come by and peck out of the pod. How do you think they got dried like this?
Maybe by the sun?
Yes, the sun shining on them, and then also once they don't get water anymore, and so they will then be ready for the animals to enjoy, and the gardener doesn't want to take those away from their garden. They just want to leave them out there. So that's how you can feed your animals also. And any kind of thing that has a seed on it will serve as a way for an animal to eat. Even if you do not have pine trees, berry-covered bushes, or dried flowers in your yard, you can feed the animals during the winter. I have a recipe for suet burgers so that you can feed the birds during the winter. Megan poured a cup of oatmeal and a cup of whole wheat flour into this large mixing bowl. Emma poured 3 cups of cornmeal and a cup of birdseed into the mixing bowl. I stirred in a cup of shortening and a cup of peanut butter. Eventually, you shape the mixture into patties, which need to be chilled in the refrigerator. Emma or Megan, do you have any questions?
How do we serve the suet burgers?
You can put a patty in a mesh sleeve and hang it in a tree. These came from some avocados, and there's just enough space in there. First of all, the birds can hook on to the mesh and hold themselves as they peck at the suet. Our readers can learn more about winter gardens from the magazine Organic Garden, or check out all the wonderful winter garden suggestions that have been posted on Pinterest. You'll be amazed and inspired. That wraps up this edition of Gardening in Nature. On behalf of our co-hosts, Emma and Megan, thanks for watching. Join us next time as we explore the world of compost and its uses. Back to you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Miss Downing and Emma and Megan. That was a lot of great information. We hope everyone's garden survives this winter.
Okay, everyone, get your thinking caps ready, because when we come back from break, it's game time.
Keep it tuned here to join us in all the fun.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
Because you said rude things about my work, I started to question my own voice.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of your negative comments online, I've almost quit doing the one thing that makes me happiest in life.
Because you shared something about me that was private, I felt embarrassed.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Because of you sharing your story with me, I feel comfortable sharing my own.
Because you were there when I was coming out, you helped me regain my confidence.
I'm still here today because of you.
Welcome to Game Time. I'm your host, Leah Schwagel. Tonight we'll travel the world, well, sort of. Our game is called Where in the World. We'll test our contestants' knowledge of geography, but first, they have a special segment for us. Let's send it over to Kira and Grayson and see what they have in store.
Thank you, Leah.
Some people love to travel, while others may think of it as a lot of work. For those who do love to travel, we have a very special segment for you.
Today, we take you to the top 5 places worth visiting that you probably never heard of in this segment we call Destinations.
There are so many unique places, it's impossible to see all of them. We put together this list for those who may want to travel outside the popular tourist destinations.
Live vicariously through this segment or take note and plan your next vacation. The choice is yours, but either way, join us as we head off across the world.
Welcome to Destinations, where we travel across the world, finding fascinating places to visit. Today we have a special edition featuring our top 5 choices. These precious spots are both off the grid and out of this world. Topping our list is Saint-Sauveur, a quintessential 14th century village with a fortified tower, 4 winding streets, and only one place to stay in town. The hotel looks like any medieval building, but inside it has been transformed into a modern mix of French, British, and American cultures. The quiet town in the heart of Cognac country is the perfect little getaway. Lord Howe Island is the next on the list. It is a crescent-shaped island 2 hours away from Sydney, Australia. This 7-mile-long island features a long, white stretch of lagoon beach at its center and emerald green mountains at either end. Wherever you go, you aren't going to get lost because there's only one main street and 18 small-scale hotels. There are starfish in the tide pools and a lagoon full of wonderful sea life. Next, we have a place hidden deep in the Caucasus Mountains, Tusheti. This is a place you don't want to visit if you have a fear of heights. The village clings to dizzyingly steep slopes that are as picturesque as they are precarious. Be sure to go hiking and see the sheep, which graze in almost every nook and cranny, from the rolling grasslands up near the ridged peaks down to the glacial lakes below them. Verdano, in Italy's Piedmont region, is next on the list. This place is known for its food. During a visit there, you must eat at Castiglio di Verdano. Order the delicious white truffled pasta, which will be served to you in a red-walled dining room. This unique hotel and restaurant is in a crumbling 18th century castle with soaring ceilings. During your stay, tour the gardens and sip on the wine, which is fermented in the castle's cellars. South Africa's Wuppertal is a picturesque town surrounded by the Cederberg Mountains and is last on our list. Upon arrival, you will be greeted by farmers lugging their produce to market on donkey carts. Outside of town, you can climb through the mountains to find one of the many swimming holes. There, you can sunbathe on the water-worn rock in the shallows, play under a waterfall, then rest in the shade of cedar trees with the big blue sky above you. If you're looking for a unique place to get away from it all, then be sure to keep these 5 places in mind. Each one is sure to create unforgettable memories.
We hope you enjoyed these unique destinations. Planning a trip outside the normal tourist destinations could lead to a lot of fun and experiences you'll never forget.
Now, Leah, I hear today's game is a bit different than the normal game trivia.
Correct you are. We will need to take a short break so we can set up our map for the game.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Leah Schwigel and I'm here with Kira and Grayson. It's time for them to compete in our game, Where in the World? It's really quite a simple game. I'll tell them the name of a country and they'll have to point it out on our map here. I have 20 countries to find and we will rotate back and forth. If they point to the correct country, they get a point. If they miss it, then the other player gets a chance to steal that point. We flipped a coin and Grayson, you get to go first. All right, here it goes. Point to Mexico. That is correct. All right, Kira, point to Russia.
Up here.
Beautiful. Nice. Now, Grayson, point to Italy. Oh boy.
No.
No. Do I get to steal?
Do we get steals? We do get steals. So, Kira.
The boot.
The boot. That is Italy. Yes, very nice. And we are on to Kira, China.
Oh, that would be the orange one.
Yes, that is China. Grayson, we have India. Oh boy.
I'm so bad at geography.
Take a wild guess. I think you're probably right.
That one?
Yeah.
Let me go.
India. Very nice. And Kira, you're in German, so I would really hope you know where Germany is.
I hope I do too. It's that one? Right? Is it that one?
Let's find out. Yeah. Yes.
Oh boy.
All right, and Grayson, number 7, Argentina.
Ooh, I think I know where that one is.
Can you give me are you allowed to give me the continent?
I don't think I can give you the continent.
Take a
random guess.
Close.
Very close.
Can I steal?
Kira would like to steal this one.
Isn't it that one?
Let's find out. Yeah, Argentina. Very nice. All right, and Kira, number 8. We are huge Lord of the Rings fans. Filmed in New Zealand. I would really hope so. Maybe that's The Hobbit. I don't know. Where's New Zealand?
That one? The red? Yes.
Yeah, we have New Zealand. All right, Grayson, Iceland.
I don't know what countries are.
I like the swirling technique, but
I'm sure it's not right.
I don't think so.
I can't decide. It's either that one or that one.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with this one.
Yeah. Iceland is green and Greenland is icy, so
yeah,
that's nice. We have Kira again, Madagascar.
Okay,
Go
I'm
for
taking
it.
a wild guess. Is
Do
it
the
that one?
swirling technique.
Yes. Yeah. All right, and Grayson, 11, Egypt.
Oh,
Where
no
is
idea.
Egypt?
Is it that one?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
I have no idea.
You want to try again?
Me? Was I anywhere close?
You're kind of close. Nope. All right, Kira,
Yeah, don't
would you like the steal for Egypt?
Again, wild guess. I think that one.
That is correct.
Ah, yes.
I was one away.
Egypt, nice. All right, and Kira, number 12, Cuba. Where's Cuba?
It's somewhere over here.
Yeah. Do the swirl.
Tower.
That one.
Yes, that is Cuba. Very nice. And we have 13, Grayson, Iraq. Oh, goodness.
Sit. I don't know. I'm sure that's wrong.
Kira for the steal?
I'm gonna pass this one because I do not know either.
We're gonna pass on Iraq. No, it is up there.
I was
very nice. All right, number 14, Peru goes to Kira. Where's Peru?
It's over here, I think.
Somewhere. Yeah, we're doing the swirl.
Is it that green one right under Mexico?
That's a good question. I should know this. Just took
Just
a quiz on this. We're gonna label Peru.
Oh,
Nope.
I was wrong.
Nope, I was wrong too. My bad. All right, poor Peru. And we're moving on to 15, Mongolia. Where's
God.
Mongolia, Grayson? Take a wild guess. Mongolia. Oh, that's a big swirl. Nope.
Is it that one?
Yes.
Wow.
That is Mongolia up there. Very nice. All right, and Sweden for Kira. Where's Sweden?
Can I still see it?
Yeah.
Because I know it's like there.
Yeah.
it that one? No, dang.
Nope.
Can I steal?
Go for it.
I'm probably wrong.
I believe that is Sweden. Yes, very nice. All right.
Okay,
And we have number 17 for Grayson, Ethiopia.
Yay!
No.
I don't know.
I think it's somewhere over there, but I'm gonna pass on this one.
Oh, Kira's gonna pass, so we will put Ethiopia
I
up
was
on
in
the
the right
screen.
continent.
Very nice. And we have 18 goes to Kira, Chile. Where is Chile?
Is that one?
Yes, that is correct. On the coast. All right, and we have number 19, Grayson, the Philippines. Do you know where the Philippines are?
I don't, but is it islands?
They are islands. No, they're up here.
Whatever. Close enough.
All right, and our last one for Kira, Oman. Where is the country of Oman?
I don't remember learning Oman. I'm gonna take a wild guess here.
Do the
Say
swirls.
it's right there.
Nope.
No.
Grayson, you want to steal?
I don't even know what that is, so no.
Oman is, boom, right there. Very nice. All right. So our winner of Where in the World this year is Kira. Congratulations.
Good game, Grayson.
Good game.
Well, that does it this morning for this morning's edition of The Morning Show.
For the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here for New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.